I normally translate French writers and books that are set in France or Belgium, countries which I know very well. I don't know Russia, so it was taking me out of my comfort zone, but at the same time it was a very interesting challenge. The sense of place is really important in translation because you can't just translate the words that are on the page. You have to really translate sort of sensually the smells, the sounds, the cold, the feelings. So I went to see Olivier in Paris, and he showed me lots of photographs and talked to me a lot. So I managed to sort of get that sense of place. That was one of the main differences for me, I think. He used a lot of source documents that he had translated from Russian with the help of translators. So I needed to go back to those source documents I translated from his French, but I alerted the publishers that this would need to be checked by Russianists, and Ellie Steele, the publisher who's I'm going to be speaking to at the moment, made sure that there was a Russianist on board who would be checking my translations. So Stalin's Meteorologist is the story of one man, Alexey Wangenheim, who was the head of the meteorological department of the USSR. And he was an absolute hero for Stalin. He invented weather forecasting in the USSR. He was actually envisaging a global weather forecasting system. So he was a real pioneer and a great hero. And within a year of being sort of acclaimed by Stalin as a hero, he was arrested. And he was arrested outside the Bolshoi Theatre. He was on his way to the Bolshoi to go and see the ballet with his wife. And he was arrested as a saboteur, having been denounced by, they think, it was a jealous colleague, and carted off to the Lubyanka prison and then exiled to the Solovetsky Island. All that without being able to say goodbye to his wife or 4-year-old daughter at the time. So but while he was on the island, and then he was executed 3 years later. He was arrested in 1934. 3 years later, he was executed. And his family didn't know this until 20 years later. So while he was on the island, he kept a diary and he wrote letters home to his wife and daughter. And he did these absolutely beautiful drawings for his daughter, who he wasn't able to see, but he took his role as a father very seriously, and he wanted to educate her. So he used nature to educate her. He was a scientist, so he used nature to educate her in mathematics, etc. And Rolin came across completely by chance these letters, and that's what prompted him to write the book. So it's the story of this one man who became a victim of this system. And I think one of the most moving things about the book is that right until the end, until he had a gun in the back of his neck, he still believed in the revolution.